There it is. Yarg. Welcome back to
Hashtag just saying.
Did you hit the G on that? Saying.
No.
Saying. I know. Still in the old studio. The clock is ticking though. I spent the entire Saturday cleaning out the basement. I know
Something's rattling.
It's my whole setup here. I don't know what the rattling. It's something on here. It's something on here. I don't know what it is. I'm just trying not to touch the table.
Good luck.
Yeah, that'll be my thing. I'll try not to. I don't know why it's rattling like that. Never did that before.
No.
It's very noticeable in the headphones too.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, if you want that rattling noise in your ear, you can listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play,
Hey, Dad.
Anchor,
Dr. Hank, listen.
which is apparently the Jeff of apps.
Oh, screw you, Jeff.
Yeah. Did I say? Yeah, I already said SoundCloud. Spotify.
Gross and spotters.
And Amazon Music now.
Smile. We're smiling back.
I do know of at least 2 people who listen to the show on Amazon Music. So.
Is that something? What's that?
It is the Jeff of apps. Yes. Hopefully Amazon's a little bit better. I don't know.
Hi, Kelly.
For the video people, you can listen to the entire show where we just told you. For the audio folks, you can watch the first 30 or so, however long
We're allowed.
we deem necessary on YouTube. I will try to keep the rattle noise down. I have no idea what it is. Anyway, so I cleaned out the basement.
Yay!
Yesterday, and my niece hated me for about an hour. She... Oh, hello. Yeah, it was a lot of work. And you know what's funny is we don't even have the dumpster all the way full. I know, but you know what? If I'd gotten a smaller dumpster, I would have filled it and needed more room. Plus, I'm kind of hoping I can get Jay to clean out his office a little bit.
Good luck.
I know. I feel like a genie wouldn't even be able to make that happen. Be like, I'm sorry, that's beyond my capabilities. But I'm gonna try.
Genie would be like, make another wish.
Yeah. You can have 8 on top of that one because I can't.
That one.
I can't give you that one at all. So, it's been a crazy week. Where to begin?
Start.
I know. Let's start with Monday, shall we? Because Monday's the day.
Woo!
I know. So I woke up.
Yay!
Hooray for consciousness! I was.
At least you woke up.
I was joking around with my mother last weekend, and she was very upset with me because I told her that I wouldn't mind being in like a quick coma. Like 3 or 4 days, like a little, like a baby coma. I'd be all right with it. I feel like I would wake up so refreshed. I was like, I can't imagine coming out of a coma and being like, I really need a nap. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think you'd be as refreshed as you could possibly be coming out of a coma. And I got yelled at. You shouldn't talk like that, apparently. So. I don't know what that stupid rattle. So she was a little mad at me. I know. She was like, shouldn't say things like that. So not only did I say, I'd like to be in a coma, but then I said, oh, that would be like a really good weight loss plan too. Because you wouldn't be able to do anything for 3 or 4 days. Your body would just have to live off of whatever you have. I was like, I feel like I'd wake up really thin. Not really thin, but thinner. And refreshed. And I think that's a good combination. So, anyway, I woke up Monday, and I was getting ready for work, and I got a text from my significant other. And he...
Yeah.
And he was gracious enough to inform me that someone that he may or may not had contact with tested positive for COVID. Oh, yes. So I was like, okay. Well, I mean, he had been off all weekend. So I said, well, okay, that means everybody that I've seen from Friday on could be in trouble, and I need to know if you've seen this person. So he said there's a policy at his work, where they don't, not only do they not like to tell people about positive COVID employees, but they don't like the positive employees to speak about it. Because when a friend of mine had come down with it, and then Jay and I had to be tested, there was, they have a morning meeting via phone call. And so Jay had announced on this meeting that I have to be tested because my wife's friend, and his boss was mad at him because he said that, you know, we don't like people to say that. And I said, you know, that's not cool because, I mean, people have families and they have things that they do. Isn't it better to tell people what's going on? Oh, here we go. You can't give the names of positive people. See, now I didn't think that was a HIPAA thing. According to the information coming in, it's a HIPAA violation. I didn't think it was because I think
Have you seen him?
Yeah, a little more hair. I thought it would be more of a health violation. I would think that you would want people to know because of it's a health crisis. But they don't like to tell people, and they don't like people to know. So Jay had to do some calling around. Now my thing was, not only had I been in contact with people over the weekend, but I was at a wedding. My friend got married. Sadly, he did not do the angry speech that I had hoped he was going to do. Instead, he did a, you know, like, what are you doing? Oh, he's saving it?
No.
Instead, he did a you know, just a regular, oh, I'm so happy speech. And I mean, I was waiting for the fist to stop flying, you know. Actually, I felt very bad because I had to go. And I was looking for him, and he had been gone for like an hour. So I went up to his mom, and I was like, have you seen him? And she goes, oh, he's taking photos out back. I said, oh, well, I'm not going to interrupt this photo shoot for GQ.
Yeah.
So.
I'm actually picturing him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He definitely would have been doing that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so I said, well, I'm not going to interrupt that. And then she goes, well, if you need to go, just tell him.
Honey, you can be in this in a minute.
I know. Yeah. She goes, I'll just tell him that you said goodbye. You had to go. And I said, you know what? Thank you. I'm going to do that. And you know what was funny is a little bit prior to that, I had gone up to her because she had passed me several times. And she didn't say anything. And I'm like, why is this mom mad at me? Because, I mean, it's not like that. So I was like, So I went over to her. I tapped her on she was talking to somebody. So I tapped her on the back. And she spins around and she stares at me for like 10 seconds. And then she goes, oh my God, it's you. And I went, yeah. I said, I wore a mask the entire day. So I said, was the mask really that? Like, I mean, can I rob a bank and get away with it? Like, nobody.
Probably have to see you without a hat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I posted a picture on Facebook. Everybody was like, I got you and my nephew, who was like, what's Harry without a hat? Holy shit. I said, you know, I don't sleep with it on. Now all I can think of is the Smokey and the Bandit when he's like, I only take my hat off for one thing. Yes, I was not wearing a hat, and I was dressed very nice. And I have a quick story about that, but I have to get back to this other thing so my mom won't be mad at me. She hates when I jump conversation. So ultimately, he was able to get hold of his boss, who told him that it was somebody in another department in another section of the building. There's zero chance that he had come in contact with him. But during this entire time, I'm trying to find out what the protocol is, because if it's somebody that he had contact with, obviously there's texts and phone calls I'm going to have to make, and I didn't know if should be going into the office at all, right? So I'm trying to phone my boss, and I call her twice, and I get nothing. I call her boss, I get nothing. So I'm going, who do I have to? I mean, seriously. Oops, sorry. Like, do I just call HR at this point? Because now it's getting to the point where even if I left for work, I'd be wicked, wicked late. As we say in Massachusetts, I'd be wicked late. Very late.
Wicked.
Yeah, wicked, wicked late. So I said, well, now it's kind of too late for me to leave. Nobody's answering their phone, so I don't know what to do. So I called the team lead, because I have like 8 bosses, right? So I just went down the list. One I didn't call because we don't get along. So I called the team lead, and I did not know it was her day off. So I woke her up.
Hey, Ferris.
I woke her. Ferris, get up. I woke her up at about 8 o'clock in the morning, which really she should have been up anyway. And she goes, hello? And I said, hey, her name is Sue. I said, hey, Sue, thank you for answering your phone, because nobody else was. And she goes, Tara? And I said,
good guess.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I have all their names and numbers in my phone, and I feel like they don't really... You should have texted me. Well, somebody should answer me. So I feel like they don't have my name and number in their phone, because whenever I call them, they're like, is this Tara? Like, yeah, just look at your caller ID, you butts. So nobody calls anybody a putz anymore, and they should. So I was like, yeah, it's me. And she goes, why are you calling me? So I was like, well, that's a weird response. So I start to tell her what's going on, and she goes, I'm not back on until Wednesday, right? Like, I have 2 days off. And I went, oh, shit. I was unaware of that.
Well, you were desperate.
I was very desperate.
You had to tell somebody shit.
Yeah, so she goes, what can I help you with? So I explained the situation. I said, I've had a possible exposure. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear. And even if I left now, I'd be really, really late. We're talking like over a half an hour late, I would have been. So she goes, okay. And she said, well, do you have any symptoms or anything? And I said, no. Like, that matters, because you could, you could be a carrier and not have any symptoms. So I said, no, I don't have any symptoms. And she goes, oh. She said, well, do what you think is right. And I swear, without missing a beat, I said, go back to bed? Because that's what I feel is the right thing to do, is go back to bed. And she said, well, no, I can't tell you to do that. I said, well, somebody should. Kelly probably would have. Go back to bed. So I get the text in between that it was nobody that he had contact with, so that's fine and dandy. So I had texted my boss, and I said, please let me know when you're online so that we can talk about this. So she finally texted me and said, I'm on, but give me like 5 minutes. So I waited. She said, I'm okay. So then I call her. And the other thing that I hate about this job, it's a list, but one of the major things that I hate is at my previous job, if I had an issue, if there was something, I couldn't make it in, whatever, I called the hotline and just left a message, right? It was like, hey, this is happening. I won't be in, blah, 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 right? So they're fine with that. This company, I have to speak to someone. And I hate that. And with everything, I have to call. And it's like, I don't like that because, like in this particular situation, if she had answered her phone, I would have gotten the answer.
Right.
And I would have been able to go in, right? But they don't bother to answer their phone until after 8 o'clock, and that's too late for me because I should already be on the road and almost to the office by the time they all decide to check their phones.
Right.
And it's annoying, right? So I explained the situation, and she said, okay. And she said, well, you can work from home today. And I said, oh, how nice. And then she said, and this absolutely boggled my mind. She said, okay, if this happens again, if, for the future reference, whatever. She said, if it's nobody that you've had direct contact with, come into the office. And I went, I don't think you understand how this works. Because...
I just want to go back to bed.
I just want to go back to bed. But it's like... But it's like... If Jay had come in contact with someone, if it had been true, if it had been true, right? He could have 0 symptoms. He could have passed it on to me without getting sick. Like, that's how crazy this thing is. And it's like, I mean, do you really want me to come in?
Do you really want to?
Do you really want to hurt me? It's like, do you really want me to come in and possibly infect the whole office? So what was funny about this...
For me, it's me going back to bed? Sure, I don't care.
Oh, I really wanted to go back to bed.
No, her.
Yeah, she probably wanted to as well. So that occurred. I said, well, I'm already, ready to go. So I had signed on at 7:30. I was like, let me try to butter the toast a little bit. And I'll sign on early and then be like, hey, look, I did you a favor. So I told her while I had her in the front, I said, I've been working since 7:30 because I've been trying to get a hold of you guys. So I just figured I'm already up. I might as well work. So she goes, oh, all right, cool. That's fine. And later on in the day, and this is the strange part, this email came through that said, if you aren't feeling well or you think you need to work from home for whatever reason, do it. Do it. Like, whether it's COVID symptoms or not, you're not feeling well, whatever, like, stay home. Right? And I'm like, where was this email?
Unless it's you.
Yeah, I know. Unless you're Tara, then you have to call.
Or come in.
Yeah. We'll come in. So, there was that. And then Tuesday, I woke up and I wasn't feeling great for a different reason. And I went through this whole... Yeah, I know. I went through this whole thing of like, should I call? I had already stayed home yesterday and she kind of wasn't happy about that. Should I risk going in? Because it's not like I work around the corner. My commute's like a little over an hour. It sucks. So I'm like, I don't really know what to do. And then Jay goes, well, just stay home. And if they have an attitude about it, tell them you work from home. And if they decide to, throw you some shade, just be like, all right, well, then I'm going back to bed. I'm taking a sick day. Right? And I said, that's a darn good point because I've been, not great and still worked because we can all work from home now. I'm like, next time I have a headache, I think I might just take a sick day. I get headaches all the time. My husband does that. Oh, yeah. Passing notes in class. So there was that. Wednesday was super, super fun because I had to go to the dentist.
Yay!
Yay! So it's a win-a week this week. So the dentist is, you know what? I went in, and does your dentist do this? I got like a goodie bag.
I used to.
Like it's a little birthday party. It's a birthday party for my mouth.
I used to love getting those.
So, I mean, I had thrown it on the table here, and Jay goes, "Ooh, what'd you get?" I mean, it's just like a little, what is that thing at the end? What is the thing at the bottom? I don't even know what it is. I'll show you guys. I don't care.
Toothpaste, toothbrush, and floss.
Toothbrush, which I just bought a new one. I was like, seriously? I just bought one. Ooh, I bought this toothpaste. No. I bought this toothbrush, right? Ooh. And it's made out of, it has like charcoal bristles. And holy shit, those are sharp. Like, like you can really hurt somebody with them.
Are you using one of those brushes for the grill?
Yes, exactly. Like, I could strip paint with this thing. Seriously.
That one might be better.
If I slip and hit my gum, it's like, oh, fuck. You know what was funny is she said, all right, well, hang on. Let me go through this thing. I had toothpaste, like Sean said. This is not my brand. That's all right, though. I mean, they're doing a pinch, and I can't tell what this is.
Colgate's the brand that's on the bag, so it has to be Colgate.
What is this? I'm doing the down glasses thing like my dad because like it's floss.
Yeah.
Look at you, you're an expert. You know everything over here.
I used to get the square versions.
Because she and I had, I mean, this was probably in the goodie bag anyway, but she and I had an argument about floss. I'll get to that in a minute. That was fun.
The fact that we don't like to do it?
No, not that.
Pain in the ass to stand there for like half an hour and just...
Not that. So now we've gone through
when they do it before they tell you to get out of the chair. It's like... jab it right up into the top of your gums.
So, okay.
Now we're passing notes.
Oh, yeah.
Remember you kept folding it until it was like almost a little...
Oh, yeah, you had to fold it, and then you kind of did like the behind the thing so the teacher could... Yeah. Almost like in a restaurant when you go to tip the maitre d' and you put like, you fold like the 10 or whatever, and you're like, nice to meet ya.
How you doing?
Nice to know ya.
That's for you.
So I go to the dentist. I find out that my dentist is on vacation, so I was getting the assistant tech. I don't know what the proper term for that is. She knew what she was doing, so
you
that's
were getting Robin instead of Batman.
Yes, I very much got Robin instead of Batman. So we get in, and they took me early, which was super because I had to do it on my lunch break because my work is mean. They are mean. This is the thing, right? I had a dentist appointment to deal with something else down here earlier in the year, right? So I skipped lunch, left early, dealt with that, and then tried to make up the time, right?
That's where there's the lights on.
Well, I had to shut it off because of the other thing.
Yeah. That's right, I forgot.
Oh, yes. So, for this appointment, I said, I have to log off at this time. I'll try to make up the time during the week or whatever, but, I mean, I'm not going to bust my ass to make up 2 hours. I really don't care, right? I don't care. Really. And so she had emailed me back and she said, well, why don't you use your lunch break and then whatever time you go over, you can make that up, which I totally had already done on Monday, right? When I signed on early.
In advance.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm reading her email and I'm like, that's the exact thing she told me not to do the last time I had to go to the dentist. They told me not to do that I couldn't do that. And now all of a sudden I'm supposed to do that. So you can't keep changing rules. It's ridiculous.
They got rules for everybody and they got rules for you.
Well, here's the thing. I wrote her back. I was being a little passive aggressive that day. So I wrote her back and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I was under the impression I couldn't do that. So she wrote me back and she said, well, we don't really like people to take advantage of it. She's like, I guess you're okay. I'm like,
quietly do it and don't let the others know you're doing it.
So I said, okay. And then she's like, just make up whatever time. And then she goes, and I thought this was a little bit punchy. She goes, well, you know, not like you do a ton of extra anyway, like a ton of OT. And I went, oh, no, did you just? So I was kind of pissed about that. So I was like, oh, so it's like, I don't stay late. I'd rather sign on early than stay late. Because it's like, once 5 o'clock hits, I'm mentally just done. Right? And actually, my brain checks out at about 4. So, I mean, from 4 to 5.
Well, I start at 8 and my brain checks out at 8:30.
Precisely. It's like, you sit there and you go, oh, God.
As soon as I got the computer on, the window's up, everything's all set, I'm out.
My old schedule used to be 7:30 to 4, so I think maybe that's when my brain is just like, it's 4 o'clock. We don't have to do anything now. So I was like, all right. So I said, instead of getting nasty, I wrote her back. I did a little sad face, and then I said, I'm doing my best. And she's like, no, I didn't mean it that way. And I'm like, I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you did. But anyway, so I get to the dentist, and she's, she brings me in. And, I mean, here's the thing, right? You know when you meet somebody new, like, that you haven't met before, and they, like, ask get to know you questions, which I don't really like. But I understand that this is society and what we have to do. So she asks me, while she's getting ready, she says, oh, what do you do for fun? Now, I thought that I was always kind of a jovial, fun person. Until she asked me what I do for fun. I got nothing. I was sitting there like,
Oh, if it wasn't work, I would tell that you would do a podcast.
No, this wasn't work. This was the dentist. I'm not telling the dentist I did a podcast.
I thought we were talking about your boss here.
No. This is the dentist. How am I going to tell the dentist? And then I can't talk shit about the dentist on the thing if she already knows.
Well, if you tell the dentist that you have a podcast, maybe they can spread the word.
I don't know. I don't know if I would trust a dentist while they're in the middle of working in my mouth to go, hey, you know what I heard the other day? Like, no. Like, I don't want to... It boggles my mind anyway that they try to talk to you. It's like, can we just do this? I mean...
Well, back in the 80s, Bill Cosby did that on a stand-up.
Yeah, he did.
It's a whole skit about the dentist. Then they want to talk to you. Do you do any fishing?
Yeah.
Oh, where do you usually go? I've been there many times myself.
I know. So you sit there and you're like, I don't want to talk. But she's, what do you do for fun? So I had to pull something out of my ass because I'm like, I have to say something. Otherwise, she's going to be like, wow, you're weird. So I mean, I pulled up a couple of things. So I was like, have this. And I mean, that was enough for her. She was like, oh, okay. And we moved on.
What did you tell her?
I told her...
Before your mom asked, well, what do you tell her? Give mom the answer.
No. I told her video games, which is kind of not exactly true because I haven't had time to sit and play a video game in a very long time.
Yeah.
And then I told her that I film abandoned buildings, which is kind of true, except I haven't done that in a little while either.
And I've been bugging you for months.
And she said, what kind of, like, buildings? I said, oh, abandoned ones, with crackheads in them. You like crackheads, right? You can fix all their teeth? That's good for your business, isn't it? So, she was a little bit like, whoa, about that.
Should have brought up the cemetery one. Maybe she'll find that more interesting.
No. Well, I mean, I was going to get into a whole paranormal discussion, but people get weird about that, so I was like, I'm not going to even crack that egg. So...
breakfast.
Yeah. So, I mean, we progressed. I didn't really like the music she was playing. You ever have that? Like, it's you want to ask for the person to, like, shut off the music or turn this monstrosity down. This is, like, painful. And I really wanted to say that, but, I mean, she listens to what she likes while she works. I didn't want to be like...
What type of music was it? Because your mom's probably wondering right now.
My mom doesn't care about me.
I'm helping mom out.
I will deal with your question in 1 second. It was country music, and I don't really like country music, so it was painful for me to listen to it.
Because I'm sitting here picturing, like, classical music playing.
Yes, well, I mean, the regular dentist was on vacation. We got a request from a watcher that they want to know what the hell you're drinking. So now Sean has to... we'll make Sean explain what he's drinking.
Orange Crush. And a Ghostbusters Slimer Collector's Cup.
There you go. Isn't it like a sport cup?
Slimer. There you go.
There you go. Ooh. Oh, it's like he's flying right at you. Ooh.
3D.
3D. It's like SCTV. House of 3D. So, I mean, oh yeah. So the argument ended with, not the argument, but the only argument that we had, the flossing thing. Because, I mean, and here's the thing, right? So she goes, how often do you brush? So I said, I gave her the truth. Which is every day.
So you make it sound like you barely do.
No. I do it every day. Sometimes I try to do it twice a day. So she goes, do you do it twice a day? And I said, not every day. I try to remember.
That's what they want to hear.
I know.
I do it 2 or 3 times a day. They feel like the star.
I wanted to say that, but then I'm like, and Jay goes, why didn't you tell her you do it like 2-3 times a day every day? And I said, she's gonna know. She's gonna know I'm lying. So I said, I try
lying
to...
through your teeth.
Exactly. Whatever teeth I have left, I'm lying right through them. So she goes, okay, that's fair. And then I said, so then she was working, because I went for just a routine cleaning. That's all this was. So she's plucking away at me, and then she goes, how often do you floss? And I said, well, the dentist yelled at me the last time I was here. Well, he didn't yell at me, but he said, it'd be great if you could do this. So I said, I've been trying to floss more often. I said, but it's not every day. I try, but it's not every day. And she goes, okay. She said, you know, a few. And I said, a few days. And she goes, okay. She said, well, I'll take it. And I said, well, I'll try to work my way up. I said, maybe by the next time I come, it'll be every day, 3 times a day. I don't know. So she goes, great. So she's working, and then she's like, you know, we start talking about my dental history and all this other shit, which I won't bore anybody with. But then she, like, pauses, and she goes, you know what? She said, your teeth are actually pretty good. And I said, great. Then I don't need to do your shit every day.
I'm doing good enough. I'm doing good.
She goes, no, you really should. And I said, no, I mean, you said I was good. You said I was pretty good. I feel like I don't need to do it now.
It's almost like when you go to the doctor's office. No matter how you are,
Yeah.
you always get the same thing. Well, I recommend you lose a few pounds.
Oh.
Like they always say that you could shed a few here, or even if you just lost a few pounds, it's not enough.
I know. That's usually the go-to, right? It's like whatever ails you. It's like, man, my eye twitches. Well, you know, if you lost 3 or 4 pounds in your eye fat, probably your eyes are very chubby. You should blink more often. You would lose eye fat.
Oh, shit.
I'm crying. Because that's so ridiculous, but I feel like a doctor would probably say that to you. You're like, oh, well.
Probably.
Your eye fat. So, this is funny real quick. So, eye fat. Almost sounds like the worst phone company ever. What are you using? Eye fat. I don't get anything. No service. Barely fits in my hand. So, I was talking to my nephew last weekend because Jay and I have decided that for the flooring for the new studio area, we should probably put down real floor instead of any... Oh, and here's Daisy. Oh, tripping her way in. Instead of trying to... Oh, that breeze feels amazing. Instead of trying to put down a temp floor. So I spoke to my nephew because I don't know who to call for cement in your basement. So then he goes, well, I could do that. And he goes, how big is your basement? And I said, I don't know. He said, well, how big is the area you need to do? And I said, I don't know. And he said, okay. He goes, well, now she can't get out. Stymied. Go ahead. Go on. There you go. Oh, there you go. Jesus Lord. So then he goes, well, can a truck get up to your bulkhead? And I said, no, because I have the fence. And he goes, well, can't the fence open up? It's not big enough for a cement truck. No. So then he goes, do you have windows? And I said, yes, I do. And he said, do they open? And I said, I don't know. And he said, have you ever been in your basement? So yes, I have. But I've not had to open up a window. So I have to get him all that information. And then he's supposed to tell me if that's something that can happen. But I thought that was funny because he's asking me all these questions. And I'm like, I don't know.
The basement, you should have made like an old joke and say, yeah, I got Windows 95 down there.
That's a good one. Windows 97. Running on nothing. I'm going to tell you a story. It's not my story.
A story.
I'm going to tell you a story. Flipping pages and everything. This is Jay's story. But I thought it was funny. So I'm going to tell you guys. As he was telling me, I was writing it down. But he didn't know I was writing it down. So after he was done telling the story, he goes, well, I don't know anybody who'd be interested in that. And I said, oh, I'm telling it. So here's the thing. He was at work today, as people go. And, it's been kind of stormy in this area lately. And there's a whole thing about that after. But, so he realized he was at a layover, which is essentially because he works for a transit company. So it's essentially where people would get on and off. It's not a main station. It's just a station where people get on and off. And they have little bungalows there which have their equipment and all this other stuff.
Electric bungalow?
Yeah. Break into electric bungalow. And so sometimes a lot of the layovers will have little bathrooms. So he was in a position where he had to go to the bathroom, right? So he goes, well, I'm just going to run in here and go to the bathroom. What is he doing? What are you doing? You're just playing with him now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So he had to go to the bathroom, so he goes in, and he turns the light on, and it was barely a light, right? I mean, it was like 0.1 watt, right? So he goes, well, I can't see in here to pee, right? Yeah. So he goes, well, I can't go to the bathroom in there. So he left the men's room. So then a coworker, a guy he was working with, comes over to him and goes, oh, did you go to the bathroom? And he said, no, I couldn't because it was too dark in there. So he goes, oh, you should go in the ladies' room. It's nicer in there anyway. There is a common myth. It is a myth that the woman's room is always cleaner than the men's room. Just because it's women. I submit to you that is not true. And a lot of times, it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I've heard my coworkers say about how they walk into the ladies' room across the hall from our office.
Yeah.
And whoever was in there before really made a mess of the place.
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to get into it because it's, I mean, but, I mean, it can be bad, right? Yeah, myth, told you, see? It can be bad. Downright disgusting. My God. Anyway, so Jay said there was nobody around. At the layover stops, people very rarely use the bathroom, so he tiptoed in the ladies' room, to make sure nobody was in there to use it. But the light wouldn't even work. It was pitch black. So he goes, well, it's darker in here than it was in the other room. I can't see to pee, right?
Was there like a cell phone that you can turn the light on?
He didn't have anything with him. All his stuff was somewhere else. It must have been in the work truck, I guess. So he goes, all right, well, I can hold it until I get to the next, where was he had to be. So he gets back in his truck and he goes to the next stop. And So, that was it too. Is he goes, I went in there. He goes, and not only was it pitch black, he said, but it reeked of urine. Reeked of urine. To me, that says that somebody said, challenge accepted. And even though it is dark, I bet I can find a toilet. I bet you. Right? Never works out well. So he went to the next station. But by that time, we had had a little bit of a storm. It had completely knocked out the power. Right? So he went to go to the bathroom in that station, and there was no power. So again, he was in the dark. So he goes, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to use a Gatorade bottle, and I'm just going to pee. I'm going to pee. Right?
Man, we do that.
You lucky bastards.
You grab a cup, and if you got privacy, go
The
for it.
world is your toilet.
Oh, yeah.
I joke with them about that all the time. I'm like, the world is your toilet. You can go behind a bush and just pee. It's like, it's much more complicated for us. We can't do that. So he goes...
Well, from what I've seen on TV and movies, you gotta squat and move the underwear over and everything. And
Well,
without falling into it.
there is so much more aiming that needs to be happening than there is with y'all. Y'all can just go...
Fine balance.
Yeah. So he goes, I went back to the truck. I got a Gatorade bottle. He goes, I went back into the bathroom, and he goes, I got most of it in there. I went, that's absolutely disgusting. I said, well, what'd you do with the bottle? He said, well, I wasn't going to leave it. And he said, I took it and disposed of it later. I said, thank God. I said, I don't want you bringing pee home. Save this for you. Love you.
Lemonade.
Yeah. Disgusting. Disgusting. We have, this weekend we have a hurricane warning. And we've not had a hurricane warning in quite some time. Because this is not an area where we get those kind of things.
No.
So I was supposed to attend a function this weekend. And that has been relocated. Removed. I don't know. Removed, relocated, rescheduled. That would be the proper word.
Postponed.
Postponed, yes. Due to the ongoing storm. And originally, Jay was supposed to go into work at 2 a.m. on Monday because of the storm. And because now they moved the touchdown. It was supposed to touch down Monday. And I'm sitting here going, I ain't going to work. I ain't going to work. I am not being stranded at work. That is my biggest fear.
You should probably check with them first.
That is my biggest fear, is being stranded at work. Like,
sorry to call you over the weekend, but...
being in a situation where I can't leave work. It's like, no, I have to go. But there's 12 feet of snow. I'm going. You're not keeping me here.
No.
Jesus, yeah. So, touchdown is now Sunday. So now he is on call from like 9 a.m. to about 10 p.m. Sunday. And I went, ooh, that's gross. But on the other hand, better than 2 a.m. So that was the right side of that. And I was sitting there, and it was like, the governor of Massachusetts is calling for, and get this, the evacuation of tourists on Cape Cod. Yes. That's how serious he's taking this. And then I'm like, well, maybe he just, it's an excuse to get the New Yorkers out of here. Go back to New York. Go back to Jersey, you moron. So, yeah, they want all the tourists, if you're not a resident, skeet. Get out. They want you gone. Is it supposed to be a biggin? I don't know. I don't really, it's tough with with snowstorms, it's like
Well, in the past 2 years, every time I see on the news,
Yeah.
oh, a storm's coming, the storm's going to be like this, and it's going to be a big storm.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what we end up getting.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Put everybody in a panic, and then we get like a little rain or a little drizzle or
Yeah. That's
a
exactly
little
what...
bit of thunder and lightning, and that's it for like 10 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Ooh.
like, when it comes to snow, we've all around here, that's like a dime a dozen. It's like, oh, we're getting a nor'easter? Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know?
But within the past year or two, it ended up being like 1 and 3 inches.
Yeah, when we really haven't gotten it much. And, I mean, but for a hurricane warning, because we don't get those much. Precisely. That's the correct term.
What? Share.
I have to share.
Sharing's caring.
It is caring. It's, if you don't say down the Cape, get the fuck out. Massachusetts. We all say down the Cape. I don't know why. Where you headed? I'm going down the Cape. Really? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Up New Hampshire, down the Cape, up Gloucester. Gloucester.
Check out the castle.
Somebody was looking at that castle to get married.
Married?
Recently, yeah. That castle that we've toured about 12 times with the Renaissance Fair. But anyway, I said, oh, I know that castle pretty well. I can guide you all through. So they want all the tourists gone, and I thought we haven't had a serious hurricane around here, around these parts. Of course, I wouldn't go if I were you.
I just want a really good thunderstorm that'll last at least an hour. Not 10 minutes, not 20 minutes.
Yeah,
at least an hour.
I like thunderstorms.
Seemed like when we were kids, they lasted like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Now I'm lucky if I get like a 30-minute storm.
Yeah.
What the hell?
But we haven't had. Do you remember Hurricane Gloria?
When?
Hurricane Gloria was a hurricane that leveled Massachusetts. I mean, people were without power for like months. And it happened September 27th, 1985. There was no school. There was no power. Man, I remember my dad. We're running kind of long on the video, but that's all right. I remember my dad because he's MacGyver. You remember, don't you? My dad took a battery from a car, and he took a light bulb, and he rigged it up so that we had a lamp, right? Mm-hmm. And we had neighbors coming over calling, like, how the fuck do you guys have electricity? Because they could see the lamplight, because we used to have this big, well, we still do, big bay window, right? So how come you guys have light? Because MacGyver over here set up this whole thing. And then it was like, we'd play cards because there's nothing else to do. And then, like, listen to the radio. But it was like being in the olden times. Like, you expect pilgrims to go walking through your living room, like, oh.
Well, you can do it too if you have a light bulb, batteries, and copper wire, and some potatoes. You can make your own.
There was no
homemade light.
There was no potato. No potato. Probably unsafe. Probably what I'm guessing.
Probably end up eating.
And then the next big one that came through here was Bob, which is odd because it's my dad's name. And that was August 19th, 1991. So yesterday was the anniversary of Bob, and then we get told we're getting this major hurricane storm. I'm hoping that when it hits, it's going to lose a lot of its
they usually
impact.
When they get up here now.
Well, because it goes across, like, it loses a lot of its steam over the ocean. So I'm like, yeah, get all that aggression out while you're out on the ocean, and leave us alone, because I don't want to be without power.
Take it out in the ocean.
Yeah, you know, I should have emailed somebody today and been like, if I don't have any power, I'm not coming into work. And I work in an area that usually gets hit with storms and shit the worst, so I'm like, maybe we won't even have power at work. Wouldn't that be nice? I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Guess what time it is?
Oh, goody.
That's right. Like we said, you can listen to the rest of the show. I'm reading that. Okay. Nothing. We will see you next time. Oh, by the way, which is a phrase my husband hates to hear. We may be filming in a cemetery tomorrow.
Yay!
Ooh, if so, I'm gonna try to do some live stuff because I got a new holder for the thing we do the live stuff from. and hopefully it'll be hands-free. I hesitate to do too much of it, though, because it can get a little boring if it's really dark and you can't really see anything. But if you've already subscribed, good for you, and you should be notified when we go live. You can check that out if you like.
Remember what Joe tells you.
Subscribe, ring the bell. Tell him, Joe.
Ding!
Yeah. But in the meantime, Sean's got something to tell you. Tell him, Sean, before I choke myself.
Have a good everything. Name this quote. I'm reenacting it for you.
Oh, God. Oh, wow, you really got underneath the thing, didn't you?
The pen is blue. The pen is blue. The goddamn pen is blue. Where's that one from?